It's Sunday morning and service is going on at your local church. A man overdressed for the weather gets out of his car. He walks into the building and past two of your greeters without acknowledging them. Just inside the doors, he pulls a weapon out of his coat and opens fire. What would your ministry staff and volunteers do? Is your staff and safety team trained to look for danger signs? Does your church have the ability to communicate with all members immediately? Could the ushers alert the entire safety team with a single communication? How quickly can law enforcement get to your facility? Does your safety team have established standard operating procedures for dealing with this type of threat? Does your church have a plan for directing the reaction of the congregation in an active shooter scenario? Do church members know when to shelter in place, when to evacuate? And do they know how to do so safely? Are you able to lock down other areas of the building away from the shooter, especially the nursery and children's ministry areas? Is your safety team trained to perform the lockdown immediately after the threat is identified? Have you worked with local law enforcement so they are aware of the layout of your facilities and campus? One way to respond to an active shooter. In this scenario, the church has a trained safety team in place. One of the ushers immediately alerts the entire team using a handheld radio. He also calls local law enforcement using his cell phone.
Get down, get down, get down.
Safety team members inside the sanctuary move quickly to instruct the congregation to get down on the floor.
Kid zone, make sure that you get shelter in place, please.
Other team members communicate with the children's areas and evacuate as possible. For areas in which it would be too dangerous to evacuate, staff and children turn out lights, lock doors, and shelter in place. This safety team has armed members made up of off-duty law enforcement and former military personnel. They engage and neutralize the threat and wait until police arrive.
Put the gun down! Drop it! Don't move! Get on the ground! Get down! Get down!
After law enforcement arrive and secure the gunman, the members of the team help evacuate everyone and do appropriate follow-up for the ministry. With active shootings on the rise, it's more important than ever to know how to respond to the threat before it happens.